this is going to be fun, and I've decided to set up on the tripod today. I'll just lift this up a little bit so you can see maybe the roof of, well, not the roof of, the top of my head, the roof of my head, guys, you know what I mean. Lily, Mom is going to, excuse me while I try and get my girl to turn around, but she will. I'll just let her get moving a little bit. Lily is coming into shed. Her belly is extremely pinkish looking, but still wants to come out and see her mum at the moment. But anyway, that's okay. You know, Lily is very social, so, you know, being in shed, she'll choose when she decides that she wants to go to bed or in her home. Hello. I know, darling, that you just want to go on up, but I would like people to see you today because I don't, as you know, very often hold my pythons. Just stay with Mum. Just stay with Mum. Alright, just for, you know, about 10 minutes. Alright? And then she can go, of course. But the reason why I would really like Lily to hang around, and it's really hard for me to get her and me in the shop together. Hey. Hey. She'll realise that I'm not going to be letting her go, and she'll settle down. So excuse me while I just fiddle a little bit with the camera, because today I'm going to do something a little bit different to my normal videos, and I want to talk about, you know, the more, I guess, I don't want to call it the average conversation about snakes, and specifically carpet pythons, because any information I think is vitally important, and I know a lot of my videos are around more, you know, about the way that I brought my carpet pythons up to have extremely social girls and boys in my life, as in girls and boy snakes. And I really wanted everybody to be well aware of that is what my channel is about, understanding them more beyond the care in terms of their heat and so forth. And I've just done a video about seeing the difference and understanding the difference between caring for and the way you actually treat your snake. But today I want to start a series of videos relating to their care, and of course will throw in a little bit of my own take on that, but I will try and stick to the information that I know you will need if you decide to go with carpet pythons. So I'm going to start with, you know, a hatchling, because a lot of people do get a hatchling and bring it into their life, and I do know people, of course, that get them when they're older, and I have done that, and I've also, I wouldn't say hatchlings, but young carpet pythons. So I have dealt with hatchlings though, so it's not that I haven't had hatchlings to care for and to feed and to know what they like and they don't like. So for me, this is about me telling you my experience with hatchlings and young, I'll say young carpets as well. And so that you get an idea of what I feel works and has worked, and I hope will work for you. Little hatchlings, when they're born, are just so cute, and their colours are drab. They really are. Nothing extraordinary when it comes to your average kind of like jungles and coastals and so forth. If you're morphing, you know, and you've got more than one genetic in them, of course you're going to get a variation. But the likes of Lily, Jack, especially I can say in this house, and even Sia to some degree, would be considered to be quite ugly in their colours until they start shedding, and then you'll start to see those colours and the patterns a whole lot clearer. So you can't really, you can get a good idea when you look at them, you know, who's going to possibly have the more vibrant yellows with a jungle, but they look pretty boring, bland looking as far as I'm concerned. But they're born and they're roughly, you know, 15 inches long. They're really not very chubby, and I can say to you, even though our carpet pythons end up bigger than ball pythons, for example, ball python hatchlings are actually bigger than carpets, and yet our guys end up huge. And I know some ball pythons can too, but pretty much on the average, nothing to the size of, say, Jack. That's just an example. So, you know, they're averaging around that 15 inches long, and they just look like longworms, pretty much, with these big heads and these big eyeballs that are looking at you, and they're nothing really that you would go, oh, wow, aren't they absolutely gorgeous? Well, to me they are, but you know, to the average they're pretty really. So yeah, 15 inches, not very big, guys, and that should pretty much tell you that your baby, of course, they're not going to be 15 inches when you get them. They're going to have a few feeds into them. They're going to grow a little bit, but not to the extreme either. Takes a little while for them to get some size on them and get their girth, and that generally will only happen, you know, around the, I would say, 2 to 3 they tend to start growing, and then from 3 to 4 they tend to really have massive growth over that time. That's from my personal experience that I have found with my carpets. And my grandson's coming through the door. I apologise for the noise, which are my dogs, but they're a part of the family too, are they not? But of course Lily is still trying to head off, but I am really not going to let her, because it certainly isn't doing Lily any harm to stay here with her mum for a little while. Is it, Lily? So you get home and you should already be pretty much set up for your baby hatchling, and basically, you know, the best and easiest way, if you don't have an enclosure for them, is a plastic tub. And I'm not talking, you know, a little thing like this. I would say, you know, if they're 20 inches long, to at least have, you know, a 15-inch in length, and one with a bit of height in it, because I would really like you to have some ability for even your baby to get up off the ground. I think that's very important with a carpet, and that might be, you know, with just a stick or a small branch in there. And I also want you to put a hide in there for them as well, And we all know, and this goes for most babies, and that is they need a hide to feel safe. And you want your baby to eat. And I can't say to you other than please put a hide in for your baby. And if they want to hide, then they want to hide. If they want to grab their feeder and go into their hide and eat, let them go into their hide and eat. That is the most important thing. Is you want your new baby to eat and not be stressed. Now, temperatures is another thing. You know, as adults, the temperature changes for them. And you know that Jack doesn't like it any more than 30 in the hot spot. Your babies are a little bit different, and I do believe they need it to be a lot warmer. So in terms of ambient, I like it to be that 28 and no lower, and it can even be at that 30 ambient temperature. And that on the heat, I like it to be around 32. For the babies to feel comfortable in eating, that is. Starting your babies to eat, or your new hatchling, we know when we get them home, they're a little bit stressed, it's a new environment. So give them, you can try them on the day they arrive, and if they eat, that's really great. If they don't, I would wait 4 days, 5 days, and offer again. And I would not offer them a rat pup. Start them off on fuzzies. And they're more likely to eat a fuzzy than they will a rat pup. I've known so many people that try to start on a rat pup and their baby won't take it. They just won't. And then they offer a fuzzy and they're happy to take it. So I would suggest you start your new hatchling off on a rat fuzzy when you get them home. So that is all that they need when you first get them. They will be quite happy with that. Of course, if you've got a smaller enclosure available, by all means use an enclosure for them. But the basking, in a tub they don't have a basking, so to speak, but you would have a heat mat. Make sure that it does get up to that 30, 32 for them on that hot side. That will give them more of an inclination to know they can eat and will be able to digest as well. So that's just the first part of, carpet pythons and a hatchling, and what I feel is important for them. The availability to get up off the ground, the heat, keeping them safe and letting them feel safe is what's important. So guys, Lily, who wants to go but is not going, she can now wait 2 seconds, so to speak, while I say, you all take care of yourself and your family, your snakes. I'm going to boop you on the nose. I'll kiss you. And all your animals. Ciao.